Hey, Mr. Manly here with lesson number 580 in How to Be Manly. Got a call the other day from my brother and his wife who always host Easter dinner. Nothing like waiting until the last minute and invite me, right? I always show up wearing my funny bunny ears and they laugh at me and call me Cousin Eddie. Funny, because my name's not Eddie. Then they all whisper something about Christmas vacation. I don't get the point. After all, it's Easter, not Christmas. Anyway, they told me they are unable to have me over for Easter since they're having renovations done. Knowing they wouldn't accept an invitation from me, I went ahead and offered. Suddenly, I had egg on my face as they jumped at the chance and said, "See you Sunday," and abruptly got off the phone. I thought, what am I to do? So I called a caterer, and they told me I could have a traditional Easter dinner delivered to my home on Easter Sunday morning. Problem solved. Now off to have Easter baskets made. There's a new place by me called Nuts and Chocolates. I thought I'd give that a try. When I entered, a salesperson wearing bunny ears and a cottontail said, "I'm Daisy. How can I help?" One look, and I knew I wouldn't mind hopping down Daisy's bunny trail. "Well, Daisy, I need some Easter baskets," I told her. "But just for fun, what would satisfy your Easter basket?" She said, "Don't say anything because I work here, but I like an Almond Joy, a Mr. Goodbar, and a Milky Way." After hearing this, I knew I could satisfy Daisy and do so in a manly manner. If you ever find yourself in a similar situation, follow along in your manly manual, page number 580, and repeat after me. Number 1, hey, check out these almonds. They're sure to give you joy. Number 2, you like Mr. Goodbar, huh? Tonight, call me Mr., and I'll give you a good bar. Number 3, hey there, Daisy. Look at this Milky Way. It will knock you out of this world. Shortly after, as Daisy grabs you by your not-so-joyful almonds, including your Mr. Goodbar, then kicks you so hard in the same region, you'll see all the stars and think you're in the Milky Way. You'll realize just what kind of man you really are. Until next time, this is Mr. Manly saying be manly, and good day.
"At least you still got him," responded Travis Kelce. The world's oldest man just passed away. That's a title people wait forever to achieve, then don't get to hold too long. You know, like King of England. The Final Four is tomorrow. Then it's the national championship. Then it's you swearing to never waste $20 on an office pool again.
It's 60 Minutes meets Gone in 60 Seconds. Tune in Monday for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
If it's where you've been snagging your fresh produce, listen up, because they might owe you some cash. In a recent settlement, Walmart has agreed to cough up a hefty $45 million in response to a class action lawsuit accusing them of overcharging customers for weighted goods, ranging from poultry and pork to seafood and bagged citrus items. This all happened between October of 2018 and January of 2024. Can you imagine that? You're strolling down those fluorescent lit aisles, picking out your favorite avocados and bananas. Next thing you know, you're in line for a payout. If you've been tossing those fresh goodies into your cart during this ban, you could be eligible for a slice of that pie, but don't get too excited. I mean, the payout's not going to break the bank, okay? Depending on your purchase history, you could score anywhere from $10 to $25, with a bit more if you're diligent enough to have held on to those pesky receipts. I mean, I guess you could still get something back even if you somehow didn't hang on to 5 years of grocery receipts, but you're getting back the minimum in that case. Even if you do manage to rack up $5,000 in receipts, you're looking at $100 tops. But hey, who am I to judge? You want to spend your weekend scouring through your trash for grocery receipts? Be my guest. Just don't come crying to me when you realize you spent more on printer ink than you're getting back from Walmart. And before you go dreaming of a lavish shopping spree on Walmart's dime, keep in mind the maximum payout caps off at $500, even for the most dedicated shoppers among us. But if you're ready to claim your share, make sure you file your claim online before the June 5th deadline. I mean, after all, every penny counts, right?
The following rant may cause you to pull your hair out, scream at the radio, punch the dashboard. Complaints should be addressed to loudmouthYamBag@rock107.com.
Here's what has me jacked. I gotta tell you, I love YouTube, but I hate what YouTube has done to some of us. I love the drugged up kids who got their wisdom teeth yanked and the funny animals. I love the homeless guy with the voice of gold. But for every Susan Boyle YouTube has given us, it's also given us thousands of videos where a scary-faced screamer pops up on you. What I hate most about YouTube is the creation of the promposal. Used to be, you had a girlfriend in high school, she went to prom with you.
You blew $80 on a limo, and your biggest concern was, would you get past third base? Now, promposals are the rage. People spend thousands on elaborate plots to ask a girl to the prom. And yes, I still say the prom. This isn't England. You aren't heading to hospital. We use articles in America, damn it. Promposals are a waste of time, money, and energy, and I blame YouTube and what I call the insta-famous society that it created. Once upon a time, you actually had to have talent, or at least a clever gimmick to get famous in America. Now, nowadays, all you need is a cell phone and an unlimited data plan to join the millions of yam bags who want to be YouTube stars, even if it's just for a minute. What I really hate is that people now insist on making everything spectacular. Nothing is ordinary. It's got to be over the top, fancy, and wonderful. Truth is, when you strive to make everything spectacular, sooner or later, nothing is. And that's why I hate promposals. We need to embrace the ordinary, embrace the mundane, embrace the everyday. That way, we can truly appreciate the spectacular when it comes along. Otherwise, get ready for a steady stream of morons blowing hundreds of dollars just to get a girl to possibly reciprocate after the prom. I'm Prospector. I'm for the people. Who's with me, man? I gotta go crazy, man!
Ever see the crazy guy screaming at the wall outside the Times building?
Where does this rage come from, my son?
Tweet us with hashtag #IFoundProspector and we'll come and get him. Prospector, mornings on Rock 107.
Footprint. The new fonts let them fit a few more lines on each page, and they say it saved almost 250 million pages so far and over 5,600 trees.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
Here are some tips for viewing the eclipse. Never stare into the eclipse. It may cause blindness. The same thing goes for Ryan Seacrest's teeth. Here's another tip. If you can't make it to an area in the path of the eclipse, close your eyes. It's the same effect. Or, try this. Even though the eclipse involves the Earth, Sun, and Moon, don't let that stop you from saying your anus as much as possible. It's that hilarious. And finally, since kids don't know any better, tell them the sun broke, the world will ice over, and all of you will freeze to death. The look on their face will be worth it. Enjoy your viewing of the eclipse.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather round the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Yam Bag of the Week, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds.
Nominee number 1.
Sometimes the gap between hero and villain is narrow, although usually it's obvious for most people. A 37-year-old man in North Carolina named Christopher Miglino was arrested Wednesday after he refused to leave the scene of a fire. Now, he started out as a hero. He showed up before the fire department and whipped out a garden hose and tried battling the fire. But when the actual firefighters showed up, they repeatedly asked him to leave, and he wouldn't. And it sounds like basically he was saying, "It's cool, guys. I've got this." It's just that he was wearing some kind of FDNY fire gear, and he's also getting in the way of the firefighters doing the actual job. He was hit with 3 charges.
Nominee number 2.
Always check the battery. Beggars can't be choosers, and thieves even less so, but when you steal an electric car, you really ought to check the charge level. That's what did in a Southern California car thief last week. Cops were called and they spotted the car. A chase of the Tesla Model S ensued throughout Hollywood, even making it onto the freeway at one point. The owner of the vehicle informed cops that the vehicle's battery was down to 1%. Eventually, the Tesla battery died in the middle of the street. That's when the suspect was arrested.
Nominee number 3.
A 30-year-old woman in Florida named Amber McCann was caught shoplifting from a Walmart and had no shortage of stories for why she was stealing. In a very confusing discussion with the cops, she initially said she was playing a really fun game called 21, where someone grabs as much merchandise from a store as they can, walks out without paying, tries not to get caught, and originally said she dumped the items along with her purse and ID in a random car and that's part of the game. Later, she said it was really a rental car that her boyfriend had, and he didn't know about her theft because he's too old to play the game. Police eventually figured out which car it was and found more than $1,000 worth of stolen goods in the back seat. They also found drugs, including marijuana, meth, and other drug paraphernalia, and a locked safe with bars of silver, copper, and platinum. Those weren't from Walmart, of course. Amber was charged with grand theft, possession of marijuana, hashish, and other drugs and drug paraphernalia, and she was also charged with trafficking of meth.
Nominee number 4.
You could get away with this if you're Yosemite Sam in a Looney Tunes cartoon, but not in real life. A 26-year-old man named Craig Miller is facing more than a dozen charges after he randomly fired multiple shots in the streets of downtown Nashville. It happened early Monday. A witness said Craig was at an intersection waving a firearm around and shooting off rounds in different directions. Police showed up and asked Craig what was going on, and initially he denied shooting a gun, but later admitted he had just divorced his wife and fired 8 rounds as a celebration of regaining his freedom. But Craig wasn't just happy. It sounds like he was high at the time. The gun turned out to be stolen, and he kicked an officer in the stomach while being taken into custody and threatened to kill him.
And the winner is
The man who pulled a gun because Burger King was running a deal and his breakfast was less expensive than he thought it would be. You're the Yam Bag of the Week. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107. Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app, a free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.